The strange body in the cemetery. It was a cold and quiet night in the small town of Hollow Creek. The streets were empty, and the wind moved through the trees like a whisper. In the old cemetery, something strange had happened. 3 days ago, the townspeople found a body lying near the broken gate of the graveyard. It was a woman, but not like any they had ever seen. Her skin was pale and smooth, almost shining in the moonlight. Her hair was silver like starlight, and her clothes looked like they were made of metal and light. They did not call the police. They did not ask questions. People in Hollow Creek believed in silence. If something strange happened, they covered it, buried it, and moved on. They said, "She's not from here," and left her at the edge of the cemetery in an old, unused grave. They called her cursed. They said she was not human. Some were scared. Some just wanted to forget. So they buried her without a name, without a prayer, without a coffin. 3 days later, a storm rolled over the town. Thunder cracked across the sky, and the rain came down fast. That night, a young man named Leo was walking home from work. He had no car. His job at the gas station kept him late. He always passed by the cemetery. He wasn't scared. But tonight, something felt wrong. As he walked past the cemetery, Leo heard a strange sound. It was soft, almost like breathing. He stopped and listened. The wind blew again, but there it was, the sound of someone breathing. Slow, weak, struggling. Leo frowned. "Is someone out there?" he asked. No answer. He climbed over the old gate and walked through the graves. The sound grew louder. Then he saw something that made him freeze. A grave was open. The dirt was fresh, like someone had dug it out with their bare hands. The wooden marker was broken. There were footprints in the mud. Bare feet, small and light. Leo's heart beat faster. He pulled out his phone and turned on the flashlight. The rain made it hard to see, but he followed the prints. They led toward the back of the cemetery, near the fence. Suddenly, he heard a cough. It was soft but real. Leo ran toward the sound and saw a figure curled up under a tree. It was a woman, the same woman they had buried 3 days ago. She was alive. Her eyes were closed. She was shaking. Her skin still glowed slightly, even in the rain. Her lips moved, but no words came out. She looked hurt, weak, but breathing. Leo knelt beside her. "Hey, can you hear me?" he asked. Her eyes opened. Slowly, they were a strange color, purple, glowing faintly. She looked at him like she didn't understand, like everything was new. She whispered one word, "Help." Leo looked around. No one was there. He didn't know what was happening, but he knew one thing. She wasn't dead. And if someone found her again, they might not let her live. He helped her stand. She was light, but weak. She could barely walk. Leo put his jacket around her and led her out of the cemetery through the back gate. They walked in the rain, slowly, quietly. No one saw them. No one knew. At home, Leo took her to the basement. It was dry and safe. He gave her water and a blanket. She sat silently, watching him with strange eyes. He asked, "Who are you?" She didn't answer. He said, "Are you human?" She looked down. Then very softly she spoke again. "Name Zira." Leo nodded. "Okay, Zira, you're safe now." But in his mind, he had 100 questions. Who was she? Why was her skin glowing? Why didn't she speak like normal people? And why did the town hide her like a secret? That night, Leo couldn't sleep. He kept looking at the basement door, wondering what he had brought into his home. Outside, the storm passed. The sky cleared. But far above, hidden in the stars, something was watching, and Zira's eyes closed in. Rest began to glow once again, alive but not human. The basement was dark, quiet, and cold. A single bulb flickered above the stairs. Leo sat on an old chair, staring at the girl who should have been dead. She sat on the floor, wrapped in a blanket. She had not moved much since last night, but something was different now. Her skin, pale, and silver no longer glowed. Yet it looked almost too perfect. Not like any skin Leo had ever seen. Leo didn't sleep. How could he? He had a stranger know something else in his basement. His hands shook as he held a cup of warm water. "Here," he said, stepping closer. "Drink." Zira looked up. Her eyes were bright but distant, like she was seeing another world. She reached out slowly and took the cup. Her fingers brushed his cold, smooth, and light as paper. Leo watched as she sniffed the water before sipping. Every move she made was careful, controlled, too controlled. She didn't blink often. She didn't ask questions. She just sat there, quiet, like a machine trying to understand how to act human. Finally, Leo spoke. "You were buried. I saw your grave. I saw the dirt. You were supposed to be dead." Zira looked at him, her head tilted slightly. "Dead is not correct," she said slowly, like she was learning each word as she said it. "Then what happened to you?" Leo asked. Zira lowered her eyes. Her voice was soft. "Crash, mission failed. People thought I was broken. I shut down." Leo repeated, "Like a robot?" Zira blinked once, then shook her head. "Not machine, but not fully human." Leo took a step back. He didn't know what to think. Was she an alien, some kind of clone, a weapon? He had seen movies, but this was real. She was in front of him, breathing, talking, not from Earth. "Where did you come from?" he asked. Zira paused. "A place far. Sky worlds. I came in peace, but you're kind. They used pain, needles, fire, I felt. Fear." Leo swallowed. "The people who buried you, they did something to you." She nodded. "They did not want me found." Silence filled the room. Leo's mind raced. Who were they? Government? A secret group? And why hadn't the news shown anything? A glowing woman buried in a town cemetery should be a big story. Zira suddenly held out her hand. "Touch," she said. Leo hesitated, then reached out slowly. The moment their fingers met, a strange feeling moved through him, warmth, then a flash in his mind. He saw stars, a planet with 2 moons, a ship flying through fire. He pulled his hand back, gasping. What was that? Zira's face was calm. Memory, small gift. Leo stared at her. "You're not just here by accident, are you?" She did not answer. She looked up at the ceiling like she could feel something above. "They are still watching. Who?" But before she could speak, they heard it. A soft thump outside. Leo ran up the stairs, peeked through the curtain. A black SUV had stopped across the street. Its windows were dark. No one got out, no engine sound. Just parked there, watching. He closed the curtain fast. "They found you again," he whispered. "Or, they found me." He rushed back down. "We need to move you." "They'll come looking." Zira stood, slowly. Her strength seemed to return faster than before. She looked at him, more focused now. "I will not go back to them, never again." Leo nodded. "Then we leave tonight." He packed a bag with food, water, blankets. Zira moved with him, quiet, fast, alert. Almost like a soldier, but just as they reached the door, Leo noticed something. Zira's arm, where a cut had been last night, was now completely healed. Not even a scar. He stared. She noticed. "Your kind takes time to heal. Mine does not." He didn't reply. What could he say? They stepped out into the night, shadows moving between the trees. The SUV was gone. But Leo felt something watching them. Not human. Not kind. They moved through back roads, away from lights, away from people. Leo had an old cabin deep in the woods, left by his grandfather. It was quiet there, safe, or so he hoped. As they walked, Zira looked up at the sky. "The stars are too." "Quiet," she said. "They are not answering me." Leo looked up too. The stars looked the same as always, but now he wondered. Who was out there? Who had she called? And more important, who else might come? The truth about Zira, the fire in the old cabin, had gone out hours ago. Now, the only light came from Zira. She sat in the dark, legs crossed, her silver hair glowing faintly. Her eyes were open, but she did not blink. In her hands, she held a piece of metal shaped like a coin. It floated above her palm, spinning slowly, giving off a soft hum. The room was silent, but the air felt full. Leo watched her from the corner, too afraid to speak. This was no dream. He had found her, buried in a cemetery, glowing and alive. She had called herself Zira, but who she really was, he still didn't know. Until now. Without warning, Zira spoke. Do you want to know? Leo blinked. Know what? The truth about me. He nodded slowly. Zira looked up. Her eyes met his, sharp, bright, and endless. I was not born the way you were, she began, her voice low but clear. My body was designed, built to survive the cold between stars. My mind, taught in silence with light. Leo didn't understand every word, but he understood the feeling. You're not human, he said. Zira nodded. Correct. But I was sent here with kindness. We watched your world. We saw war. We saw pain. But we also saw hope, music, children, rain. She touched the glass window. Outside, the forest was quiet. My mission was simple. Land, speak, offer peace, share knowledge. Leo leaned forward. Then what went wrong? Zira closed her eyes. I was not alone. Leo's heart skipped. There were more? Yes, she whispered. 3 of us. My ship was small, hidden, but something went wrong during landing. My pod was damaged. I woke up days later alone. Her hand trembled now. I walked, searching. People found me. But they were not kind. They called others, took me, locked me in a place with white walls and burning lights. Leo stared. A lab? Yes, they tested, cut, watched. She paused. Then, they thought I was dead. Leo looked away, feeling sick. So they buried you. She nodded again. But I was not dead. My body only shut down to protect me. It was healing, sleeping, waiting for safety. Silence filled the cabin. Leo finally asked, and the others? The 2 who came with you. Zira's voice became cold. They did not survive. Leo felt a chill run through him. Zira looked at him, something unreadable in her eyes. They were kind, gentle. They came to help, but now they are dust. Leo felt angry now. And the people who did this to you, who are they? Zira said only one word. Hunters, not military, not scientists. Something else. Quiet, hidden, dangerous. They are human, she said. But their hearts are dark. They fear what they do not control. They do not want peace. They want power. Leo stood up. Then we have to tell someone. The world, the news. People need to know the truth. Zira shook her head. No, they will not listen. Not yet. The hunters are everywhere. They watch the skies and the people. Suddenly, the coin in her hand stopped spinning. It turned black. Zira's face changed. What is it? Leo asked. She stood quickly. Something heard me. I sent a signal last night, hoping my people might find me. Leo's breath caught. Did they? Zira looked at him. No, something else heard it. She walked to the door, opened it slightly, and sniffed the cold night air. He is coming. Leo swallowed hard. Who? Zira whispered a name, but it wasn't a human word. It sounded like metal scraping against stone. She added, He is not from this world. He hunts my kind for sport. Leo backed away. There's another alien here. Zira looked at him with a mix of fear and strength. Yes, he came before, long ago. Your world called him something else, but he is real. And he is near. At that moment, something passed over the cabin. A shadow silent and huge. Zira looked up. We have little time. She opened her palm again. The coin glowed red now. Leo asked, "What do we do?" Zira turned to him. Her voice was calm, but firm. "You saved me, Leo. Now I will protect you. But we must prepare. The next one who knocks will not be human. The hunters are coming." The birds were gone. No chirping. No rustling in the trees. The forest around the cabin stood completely still, like it was holding its breath. Zira stood barefoot on the wooden porch, her silver hair moving in the wind that shouldn't be there. Her eyes were closed, and her head tilted slightly, as if she could hear something Leo couldn't. Leo stayed inside, peeking through the window. He didn't like this silence. "Not one bit." "Zira," he whispered, "what do you hear?" She opened her eyes. "Machines," she said softly. "Moving slow, hiding behind trees, watching." Leo's stomach turned. He grabbed the flashlight, a bag of tools, and Zira's strange coin-shaped device. The small circle glowed blue again. She had said it meant safety. Now it flickered. "What do they want from you?" Leo asked. Zira turned to face him, her voice calm but distant. "They want the code inside me. Not my body, not my mind. Just what I carry." Leo frowned. "What code?" She stepped forward and touched her chest. "A message. A gift for your people. Power, clean power. Enough to light a planet. They want it, but they do not want to share it." Suddenly, they heard a click outside. Not loud, sharp, like a camera shutter. Leo's breath caught. He ran to the back window. Something moved near the trees. A small red light blinked once, then disappeared. Zira stepped back into the cabin and closed the door. "They are here," Leo whispered. "What do we do?" Zira closed her eyes again, and for a moment, her skin glowed brighter. "Hide the coin," she said. "If I fall, do not let them take it." Leo stared at the small glowing disc. "You're not going to fall." But before Zira could answer, a drone crashed through the front window, small, fast, black like glass. It scanned the room with a blue beam. Zira grabbed Leo and threw him to the floor. The beam missed him by inches, then dash crack. The drone exploded without warning. Zira had raised her hand and sent a pulse of light directly into it. Smoke filled the cabin. The wooden floor creaked as if the whole house could fall apart. Zira stood over the broken machine. "They sent the first eye," she said. "The others will follow." Leo coughed and waved the smoke away. "How many are coming?" Zira didn't move. "Enough to burn this cabin to the ground." Outside, engines started. Not car engines. Low humming, almost silent vehicles designed to move. Like ghosts. Leo grabbed his jacket and opened the floor hatch. The cabin had an old storm shelter, a hidden place under the floor. "In here," he said. "They won't find us." Zira shook her head. "I cannot hide, not now." Leo grabbed her wrist. "Please. Just for a few hours till they leave." Zira's expression softened, but only for a moment. "I was made to protect," she said. "If I run again, others will pay the price." Suddenly, bang! The front door flew off its hinges and slammed into the wall. Two dark figures stepped inside, black armor, no faces, red lights glowing from their helmets. Not soldiers. Not police. Something worse. Hunters. They raised strange weapons, thin silver rods humming with energy. Zira stepped forward without fear. Leo whispered, "Zira, don't." But she was already moving. She raised her hand. Light burst from her fingers, like sparks, hitting one of the hunters square in the chest. He flew backward into the wall. The other hunter moved fast, too fast. He grabbed Zira by the neck and slammed her against the wall. She gasped. Leo screamed and picked up a broken chair leg. He ran forward and swung it with all his strength. Crack! It hit the hunter's helmet and shattered. No effect. The hunter turned toward Leo. Zira's eyes burst open. A sudden wave of light exploded from her body, throwing the second hunter through the front wall and into the dark forest. Leo rushed to her. She was breathing hard, glowing bright, but her skin was cracking. "You're hurt," he cried. Zira touched his face gently. "They are just the first wave." Leo looked outside. No more movement yet, but he knew more were coming. "We have to leave now," he said. Zira nodded. "The forest has a hidden place, far from here. My ship's signal pod is buried there." "Your ship?" Leo asked. Zira met his eyes. "Yes, a piece of it survived. If I can reach it, maybe I can call for help." Leo helped her stand. "Then we go." Together, they stepped into the night once more. Behind them, the cabin burned. Above them, stars began to blink one by one. Escape and sacrifice. The forest was not silent anymore. It breathed with danger. Leaves whispered warnings. Shadows moved where there should be none. The ground felt alive, and the stars above blinked like eyes watching. Leo's legs burned. He had never run this fast. He carried a small pack on his back, but the weight of fear was heavier than anything inside it. Beside him, Zira moved with strange grace, even while injured. Her body flickered with silver light each time she stumbled. Her skin was cracked in places like glass under pressure. "We're close," she whispered. "The pod is near, hidden under old stone." Leo didn't ask how she knew. She always seemed to feel the earth differently, like it was talking to her. Behind them, the flames of the burning cabin lit up the sky. But the fire wasn't chasing them now, something else was. They reached an old clearing, deep in the woods. A circle of moss-covered rock sat in the middle. Zira stopped there and fell to her knees. "This is it," she said, voice shaking. "Below, the code lives here." Leo rushed to her side. "Are you okay?" She didn't answer. Her hands were already moving, pressing into the soil in a pattern: left, right, center, pause. The ground began to hum. Then the rock shifted. From beneath the earth, a small metal panel rose up, round and smooth. It looked like it didn't belong to this planet. Leo stared. "That's part of your ship?" "Only a memory of it," Zira replied, "but enough to call home." As she touched it, the pod came alive, glowing lines, soft sounds, and a strange pulse that made the trees vibrate. Then she froze. Her face turned pale. "They're here." Leo looked around. "Where?" She shook her head. "Not close, but near enough. They're not human anymore. They've changed." Suddenly, a loud screech echoed through the forest. It wasn't from any bird. Zira stood and faced Leo. "There is no time. This device must stay safe." "I'll protect it," Leo said, stepping forward. She stopped him. "No, you must take it and leave." "Alone?" Leo shook his head. "I'm not leaving you." Her eyes, still glowing faintly, looked into his. "You saved me, Leo. No one ever did that before. My people will come. But if they find this device in the wrong hands, Earth will not be safe. You must go." Leo clenched his jaw. "I won't leave you behind." Zira smiled faintly. "Then listen carefully." She pulled something from her sleeve, a thin, transparent crystal. "This will show them who you are," she said, "that you are not the enemy. If they come, they must see this." Leo took it. Then, without warning, a blast hit the trees nearby. The ground shook. Bark flew into the air. The hunters had arrived. Zira turned. Her skin glowed fully now, but her cracks were wider. Light leaked from them like she was breaking apart. "I can't hold it much longer," she said. A shadow moved between the trees fast. Massive and silent. Leo saw it for only a second. Not armor, not flesh, but something between. A hunter, no worse. The alien. Zira stepped forward and raised both hands. Her voice rang like thunder. in a language Leo didn't understand. The light around her burst outward. The shadow paused. She turned back to Leo. Run to the north. There is a road. Wait there. Don't look back. Leo's voice cracked. Zira. Don't. But she was already walking forward, toward the shadow. Toward the hunter. Her skin glowed so bright now that it hurt to look at her. Leo turned and ran, his chest burning, the pod in his hands and tears in his eyes. Behind him, a blast of white light lit the sky. Trees cracked. The air bent. The sound was like the earth crying. Then silence. Minutes later, Leo reached the road. He collapsed, breathing hard, clutching the pod. The sky was quiet, but above, a single bright star blinked red. Then another, and another. Zira's signal had worked. Help was coming, but at what cost? The other one, it fell from the sky without fire. No roar, no light trail, no warning, just a whisper in the wind, then silence. Somewhere deep in the forest, far from roads and power lines, the earth cracked open, and something stepped out. Its shape was not fixed. Its skin shifted like smoke wrapped in metal. Its face had no eyes, just a surface black and endless. And yet, it saw everything. This was not a soldier, not a hunter. This was the one Zira feared. Miles away, Leo sat alone on the edge of the dark road, the signal pod glowing faintly in his hands. His legs ached, his mind raced. He wanted to believe Zira had survived. But deep down, he knew she was gone. The last time he saw her, she was more light than body, burning with power, standing between him and something monstrous in the forest. Now, she was only a memory. Suddenly, the pod beeped, not loud, just once, but it was enough to make Leo sit up straight. The screen on the device lit up. A symbol appeared, not a letter, not a number, just a shape, a spiral made of lines, moving slowly. Then, a voice, broken, faint, but real. Human. Leo, do not move. Stay in light. Leo froze. Who are you? He whispered, but the voice was already gone. The trees around him swayed, even though there was no wind. Then a deer burst from the forest, running full speed across the road. It didn't stop. Its eyes were wide, glowing slightly, like it had seen a ghost. Leo stood slowly. The trees ahead were darker now. Not from shadow, but from something blocking the light. Something moving between the trees without sound. Then he saw it. The shape, tall, thin. Wrong. It didn't walk, it floated, inches above the ground, like it didn't need gravity. Its body pulsed softly, like it breathed through the air itself. No footsteps, no eyes. But Leo felt it staring through him. He ran. The forest blurred around him. Branches scratched his arms. The pod bounced in his hand. He didn't care. He only knew one thing. This was not human, and it wasn't Zira's kind either. He stumbled into a clearing, an old campsite with rusted metal and broken logs. A long dead fire pit in the middle. Leo stopped. Listened. No sound. Then a voice from behind. Why do you run, Leo? He turned, heart pounding. The thing was standing at the edge of the trees. Its body shimmered, now looking like Zira. Same silver hair, same glowing eyes, same soft voice. But wrong. The smile was too wide, the skin too smooth. The light in the eyes, cold. Leo backed away. You're not her. The thing tilted its head. I am what she was meant to become. You are holding what belongs to me. Leo gripped the pod tighter. She died protecting this. She died for nothing, the thing said. She was weak, broken. I am the next step. Leo whispered, then come take it. The thing smiled again and lunged, but before it reached him, the pod pulsed bright blue. A shockwave of light blasted out, knocking the creature back. It screamed not with sound, but in Leo's head. A scream full of static, metal, and rage. Leo fell to his knees. The pod now glowing hot in his hands. A new voice came from it, calm, strong, and clear. Leo, do not give it what it wants. He looked down. The spiral symbol changed. Now it looked like a star map. The voice returned. You have one chance. Go to the mountain. Beacon 9, we are coming. Then silence. Leo looked up, but the thing was gone. Not dead. Just hiding. Waiting. He didn't stop to think. He ran. Through brush, across wet soil, under the cold moon. The map burned into his mind now. Beacon 9, the mountain. The last chance. Zira had protected the code. Now, he had to protect the message. But the other one wasn't finished yet. It had tasted Zira's light. Now it wanted more. Final stand and goodbye. The mountain was older than memory, even before humans named. It stood watching, cold, silent, waiting, now at its peak. Something ancient had awakened. A tower of rock split open, revealing a structure hidden for years beneath ice and stone. It was smooth, metallic, humming softly like it was breathing. In the sky above, clouds circled like rings in water. Leo stood at the base of the beacon. Beacon 9, the pod still glowing in his hands. His jacket was torn. His legs shook. But he had made it. Somehow. Zira single quotes as voice still echoed in his head. Not words, but memory. The way she had looked at him before walking into the fire. The way she had smiled with tired eyes. He placed the pod into a socket on the beacon. The machine responded, instantly lighting up in pulses, sending invisible signals into the sky. Then, a voice. Not human, not Zira, something older. Signal received, code accepted. Origin confirmed, preparing arrival. Leo gasped. They were coming, Zira's people. At last, but before he could celebrate, the sky split open with a scream. It wasn't thunder. It was worse. The air itself shattered, and the other one stepped through the mist, body shifting between shapes, no longer pretending to be Zira. Now, it showed its true face, a mix of dark light and jagged motion. No form, just fear. No eyes, but too much seeing. Leo backed away. The beacon behind him kept pulsing, louder now. The creature growled low and bitter. You brought them here. You broke the balance. Leo clenched his fists. Zira didn't die for nothing. They'll stop you. The other one floated closer, moving like smoke wrapped in gravity. No one is coming fast enough. It raised its arm. Energy charged in the air, dark and crackling. Then a voice cut through the mountain wind. Not from the sky. From behind Leo. Soft, familiar, fierce. You're wrong. Leo turned eyes wide. Zira. But she was changed. Her body flickered between form and light, barely holding together. Cracks still glowed in her skin. Her voice carried the sound of stars. Leo could hardly breathe. You're alive? She gave a small smile. Not for long. She walked past him toward the creature. The other one hissed. You survived the burn? Zira raised her hand. I am not done yet. They clashed. Light versus shadow. Air bent. Around them, trees ripped from the earth. The beacon's hum turned into a roar. Leo was thrown back by the force. He rolled against the rocks, bleeding but alive. Above him, the battle lit the sky. Zira and the other one moved too fast to follow. Flashes of gold and black ripping through the clouds. Zira screamed, not in pain, but in power. Then, silence. Zira fell to the ground. Her glow dimming. The other one floated, broken, cracking, unstable. Zira looked at Leo. Now. She shouted. Leo didn't hesitate. He ran to the beacon, pressed the crystal she gave him against the console. The machine absorbed it instantly. The light exploded into the sky. A beam so bright it painted the clouds blue. The other one roared, then cracked like glass. Its form shattered into a million pieces, lost to the light. Zira smiled, her body now just light and voice. She knelt beside Leo. Thank you, she said. Leo's eyes filled with tears. Don't go. Zira touched his chest, just above his heart. I was never meant to stay. Above them, the sky opened. A ship silent, silver, beautiful broke through the clouds that it hovered. Waiting, Zira stood. Floating slightly now. Give them hope, she said. And don't let your kind forget. Leo nodded, unable to speak. Zira looked up, lifted her hand and rose into the sky. She faded into the ship's light, leaving behind only warmth in the air. Hours later, Leo stood alone on the mountain. Beacon was silent now. The sky was whole again. He looked down at the ground, where something small remained, the spiral crystal, Zira's gift. He picked it up and smiled, not in sadness, but in wonder, because she had come from the stars and trusted him with their light.